Welcome to the Clanging Hammer. Don't see many new faces in Ayton these days. My forge is open. This is Ratifer's, isn't it? I recognize the work. My father did it. They're pretty tarnished, and I don't really have the time to work them now, but I'll take them off your hands. Here you go. Before Talarain fell to ruin, it was Ayton's fields and villagers that stocked and supplied the various citadels there. But the war hit us hard. Bandits plagued the roads. Even Rond Farm has burned to soot. They have been lingering around the wolds. Be cautious on the roads out there. Those freemen like to sneak up on wanderers. It's quiet here. Farmland mainly. But between Rond Farm and the freemen, we've got our own worries. Forge is yours whenever you need.
Good day. Many tidings, stranger. Strangers strange come to Ayton. Few come by these roads nowadays. A hard gaze falls on Ayton. Many are the burdens and few are the reliefs. Someone must go to Ayton Circle. Someone must call the Erethel. I see you have a ring, tarnished green and old as Nell has grown. Bought it off old Ratty, did you? The poor drunk dear. I have the coin you seek, from a dowry never taken, for a bride never wed. A circle of the windstones nearby. When the voices from its stones sing a certain melody, the Erethel will come and end our tribulations. Each stone is a voice in the song. When all have sung in their part, the Erethel will appear. But if not, dark things for these dark times will show instead. The stones. I am unworthy. I do not think they will sing to me. You must go. It must be you. Make the stones sing their song. You will? Ayton Circle is to the south of town. Each stone carries a note of the song. In the right order, they form the song as it was to be sung. But they will not suffer a cacophony. If the songs you play will not call the Erethel, it will call darker things for these dark times. Everyone knows the song. It starts on the highest note and descends down the scale. Wait a moment. Perhaps it was start at the lowest note and descend up. Well, something like that anyway. Though our wheat grows strong, the citizens do not. We sowed a crop that was untimely reaped. We need intervention, lest we end up like Talarain, a monument to nothing with kobolds and raiders squabbling over our bones. The last remaining farm in the Wolds. There has been much talk of it, how Denrit and Allred Rond have gone mad. Even Finwick refuses to investigate, so wary is he of catching the madness. hoping to hear a song for coin from old Nell. I haven't sung for years, stranger, not since the war started. Ratifer. After a decade, he begs me payment for the ring, and so his promise is finally broken. Very well. I should be lucky to die unmarried rather than a widow, a forgotten spot in these plains. The land still bear us grain, but few reap the crops they did before the war. Only Ron Farm stands, and Flame has gutted it. The others have fallen into the hands of the freemen, bandits, marauders. Flutter away.
Draw your weapon! No. No! Please help, stranger. Madness from the river tainted the grain. Eating grain breeds sickness in the mind. We need help. The river, something in the water, grows into the grain. Oh, the grain's meant to be shipped to Melsenshire, but can't spread madness. Crenault. Go to Crenault. Strange man, Jenica, travelled there. Must have done something. Poisoned river with madness. Aiton, no help. If grain reaches troops, end up like Denrit. Caged. Murderous. Jenica. Tainted water. Crenault. We ate the grain and we went mad. The grain, water from the river tainted. Strange man, Jenica. I need your help. Monsters. Know about river. Refuse help. Denrit? Denrit's been dead for... No! Please save my mind, lest I forget everything. There's too much. By the gods, these visions!
Heading for... There's treasure to be found amongst the... ruins, always open.
You have played the song, and the Arethel did not come. I had thought that something might change, but no, the blessings of the heavens will never come, just as the lost of Aten can never be recovered. Thank you, stranger, for showing me this. Flutter away.
By the gods! I finally have my thoughts returned to me, and Denrit's mind is his own again as well. It is not much, but here is what reward we can spare you. Thank you. My husband Denrit and I run the Rond farm. There is much to tend to, but we managed to get it all done. It's the nearby town. We do trade with them. Though, once my husband and I became, well, crazed, we were prevented from going back. Denrit Rond is my husband. Together we run the Rond farm and keep things in order. This is our home. Denrit and I built it with our bare hands, and will build it again. Ah.
It feels good to be free of the madness. Thank you for all you've done. My wife, Alret, helps me keep up with all the work on our farm. Without her, everything would be a mess around here. The town ended its trade with us when all the madness began. I am confident we will repair our relationship with the town. I am the head of the Rond farm. There's always lots of work to be done.
Help me, please. I've been robbed. The rogue stabbed me, made off with my belongings. Blast! I can't believe I lost the amulet! Damn, Freeman. We refugees are an easy target. There's little we can do to defend ourselves. He came from the cliffs. A bandit, I think. Stabbed me in the back, then made off with my satchel in his hand, and a wicked smile on his face. My mother's prized amulet is gone. A kind woman's last gift to her devoted son. I am in no condition to give chase. Will you help me? I don't know. It looked like one of the bandits that prey on us poor refugees. That amulet could fetch a fair sum. So I am. What of it? My treacherous partner stuck me when my back was turned. First he nicked me, then he nicked my bag. Not like it matters. If you bring that amulet, I'll pay you for it. It's that simple. Mine or not, I intend to have that prize. So, old Mundus knows what happened. Well, I don't have the amulet. Gelt does. He took it from me. In exchange, he left his dagger in my shoulder. Don't insult me. You know damn well who I am, and what I've done. I'm surprised Mundus's wrinkled old head had enough sense left to tell you. They should be ashamed of themselves. With all they have, the least they can do is spare a little extra for the dying. We're not bad people, just unlucky. Haven't you heard? The Tuatha have moved raiding parties inland. They've sacked homes all along the coast. Farms burned, whole families killed. Those of us that have survived are moving west, hoping the Summer Fae will provide a safe haven. The last hope for the hopeless. It was an item of much sentimental value. It had a name. The Heir of Barnabas. No, the not professional bandits exactly, but sly enough to cut a living out of this dried and dusty wasteland. You never know where they're going to strike next. Hurry, there isn't much time.
Just give me a straight answer. Is the General still in the cradle of summer?
She is for as much good as it'll do her. But the cards don't lie. She'll never get that door open. Fate says it's so.
Yes. Well, then I suppose we'll just have to change fate, won't we?
Hello there. It's about... Han likes to keep me... Molly Janik at your service. I teach alchemy. Don't be a stranger.
Thank you for coming all this way. I don't know if you heard that, but it sounds as if General Talera is still here, in exile. For all but losing the fortress of Melsenshire. Long ago, Talera led our forces, but then the Tuatha produced a foe she could not best. Her forces barely survived the retreat out of Cluracan. Many blamed her for the loss, to have built up hopes so high, only to have them topple. That was Talera's crime, and she has paid for it, day after day. You're as quick as ever. Talera is in the cradle of summer, banished from the battlefields of Melsenshire until she can atone for her past. According to the Fate Weaver here, she seeks an artifact from Ural Tusk that might break the siege and aid our forces. But she cannot do so alone, for poor Talera is fated never to succeed. That is where you can help. Last I heard, General Talera was somewhere in northern... The Fae of House Vengeance has always embraced their anger. Before Gadflow, they accepted it and controlled it. Now they wield it like a pair of swords. When mortals were welcomed into the Feylands, Vengeance already despised us as interlopers. When Gadflow declared war, they were already on his side. In a hidden valley, northwest of the plains of Erethel, the ruins of Ural Tusk lie undisturbed, as they have for many centuries. What Talera wants there is beyond me. But I trust her, even if it goes against my better judgment. You should be just what the General's looking for.
The Forsaken Plain was...
Isn't it a glorious day, as if Helios himself warms us with a smile? To what do I owe this courtesy? I only have a few moments to spare. The Godstorm awaits my return, and it doesn't like to wait. You didn't! I've been scouring the Forsaken Plain for such documents, but an old man can only stand the hot sun for so long. If you can bring me the rest of that research, I will compensate you accordingly. I am only days from completing the definitive work on the Godstorm, but I need those papers. Never have I been blessed with such good fortune. They are lost to the ages, I'm afraid. Mines such as Awald and Cal. It is a good place to find the piece I need to complete my work, although the refugees have certainly slowed progress. I am not one for the cacophony of any kind. I don't know how the Fae in the Cradle of Summer can stand having us so near. Our mortal din is far too distracting, even for me. I have never laid my gaze upon it. Such a thing would not be proper. I am a dustling, a child of death. The Cradle of Summer must not be sullied by my taint. I was born in the city of Rathir, an orphan of the Wending. One day, I stumbled upon the Scholia Arcana library, and I found new life in the ancient books. My advice to them would be to gain some perspective. Villages grow and burn. There is only one event that is worth our attention, and that is the gods. Of course, I don't typically prefer the company of others. Take the leader of these refugees, for example. Master Elrod Edmund. Gruff, coarse, not a pleasantry in sight. Athene's wisdom be yours.
Please, relax and partake. Give what our come again.
Oh, hello. Good day. I am Anchor Edmure. Until we meet again.
Hello.
What is it now? I've told you before, and I'll tell you again. We will leave when there is someplace else for us to go. Tell your friends in Emer that as long as the Tuatha burn our homes, we'll keep searching for a place to settle. I saw them with my own eyes, and I know Tuatha killed my fair share in the war. I am Elrod Edmund, leader of this pathetic band of ragmen. We come from the farms of the Twili coast. Go there now, and you will find only ruin. The Tuatha raiding parties terrorized us where we were safest. At home. There are spies among us, my friend, and they must be rooted out. Will you help me? Kill them. What else? I would do it myself, but I must lead my people. They have no hope left to speak of. My strength is all they have. Fine. Then we shall be discreet. There are 3 whom I suspect of scouting for the Tuatha. They are paid in gold. There is no record of their actions. Onred Amphast is posing as a military recruiter, while Froma and Nag are both residents of our camps in the plain. Be careful. Consider all of them well connected. Be swift. Be merciless. I was raised in Coln and spent my summers fishing the Twili coast. And when the war came, I threw my lot in with General Talera. May she forgive herself. They claim to be low on supplies, to be unable to spare even the smallest charity. But I know better. I have seen. Unlike us, they have everything they need, and more. Here we are safe from the Fae, all of them. We are simple people. We don't wish to be pawns in the games of immortals, summer or winter. As for Emer, the villagers have made it very clear that we're not welcome. There would be more understanding if they had endured our hardships. Good luck.
I am on official business. Unless you've been sent by the Alfar army, we have no reason to speak. Ask anyone and you'll get the same answer. They're animals. They care nothing for the mortal races. We're just dust to them. Enough! Keep your voice down! You're right. I'm a scoundrel and a coward. But you would have done the same thing. Give me a chance to make it right. You have my word, as a father. My informing days are over. I was a soldier once, in the years before the Crystal War. I saw many die at Gallifore Fields. You could say I learned my lesson. I'm here as a recruiter for the Alfar army. My superiors believe there's still fresh blood to be wrung from the Forsaken Plain. They're wrong, of course. Let's just say I'm glad I'm not one of them. War is harsh on many people in many ways. Those of us who can avoid the suffering should. Let's just say good riddance.
Departing their home beyond the Veil, the firstborn were torn asunder, with a cry that still lingers in the heart of every god tree and mountain. Then, emptiness, followed by a darkening sky, and the frost wept with the first winter. The Shaper bequeathed her music to the countryside of marbled ruin. The plains birthed the gentle grass. Listless streams meandered through the verdant hills and babbled of their gentle travel to the face of the windswept cliffs. Thus the symphony of Arethel began.
Thank the gods! Someone's come for me at last. Yes, I am the scoundrel you're looking for. Yes, I stabbed my partner in the back. Do with me what you like. Just please, please take the amulet. It's yours. It's terrible. Fire, ice, lightning. You will see. Yes, and I am a thief. Never had a spot of good luck. But taking what belongs to others doesn't make me a bad man, just a weak one. I've trekked here for several days and nights in search of Sill Hollow, but I've yet to find it. I can't say I'm comfortable here. Too many Fae, too much magic. Edwin, he was my partner, and a good one. But soon as I saw the amulet, I had to have it. Stabbed Edwin, took the goods. You can say I paid for my treachery. It is ancient, they say, as old as the cradle of summer itself. Armen the Clever calls it his home, even though no one has reported seeing Armen for centuries. He lives in Amer, pompous blowhard going on about his artifact collection to any who would listen. Name's Immundus, Wayne Immundus. I'll tell you why. This Fey trinket belonged to Armen the Clever, and it's cursed. Like most, I considered it an old traveler's story. Well, now I'm a believer. It's real. I have the scars to prove it. Your only hope is to give it away, or to travel to Armen's Hollow, in hopes you can remove the curse, which is why I'm here. Please, take the amulet. I am so weak. I cannot withstand its influence. If I possess it any longer, I will surely die. Perhaps the most treacherous and playful Fae ever to walk the green lands of the Summer Court.
Evidence of his trickery can be found all over the Phalanx. Armand's Hollow of Sil is not far, right here in the Cradle of Summer. That's where I'm headed now. It is my salvation. Legend says that Armand crafted it by combining lightning, fire, and frost, an arcane trick he stole from the Scholia Arcana. All I know is what I've seen. Once that amulet is in your possession, it will torture you. Only the strongest can withstand its punishment. Only one such as you. What a relief. You have no idea how long I've been trying to abandon that damn thing. In order to be rid of its curse, you must take the amulet to Armand's Hollow of Sil and cleanse it. Armand wishes to make you enter his lair and face its many dangers. But once you've done that, the amulet is yours to keep. If you ask me, it's a high price to pay for a rather dull trinket. Good luck.
Oh, hello. Lovely weather. Have you spotted any sativa fiber? It's okay if you haven't. I'll keep looking. Lovely weather. My. You've gone and killed the spiders. How grand. How very grand. Normally I don't condone the killing of innocent creatures, but those are so creepy. You are too kind. From now on, you are considered a valued customer to all the Janics. Everything is cheaper for the Spider Slayer. That is your name, isn't it? I've always felt a kinship with the flora of the plains. Do you? Can you feel them break the soil with their stems, their muse of thirst on the driest of days? I do. There is no richer region for reagents in all of Amalur. They say this is where the summer fae first rose from the earth. I find the fae very odd. How about you? I use it in potions to protect the corporeal form, to ensure health and longevity. It also makes a pretty decent aphrodisiac. That's something you're interested in. You met Molly? I love Molly. We haven't seen each other for years. She likes to talk about alchemy, while I like to do it. Have you ever eaten star thistle? It burns. So long.
It was then that Issa brought forth the talisman of fate and entered the marsh. This craven arena, a place of life and death. The winds carried the songs of the dying. The mire sucked the bones of armies below the sea loam. And the mist shielded the eyes of your ancestors from the horror as the two armies clashed. Are you one of the intruders? One of the children of the dust? What else can we possibly give you that you haven't already taken? The Cradle of Summer is not a flower for the plucking. Mortals, children of the dust. Those who seek only to steal the treasures of the land from which we sprung, to end the deep slumber. Mortals, like you, who seek to bend nature to their will, to make it bow before them as a servant, not embrace it as a guide and mother. Mortals, thieves, liars, and weaklings. They have stolen items of great power. They have stolen the 3 staffs. They are Rivener Tarsus, Gloamfrost, and Ender's Fire. 3 incredible weapons forged to end a war that was threatening to engulf your mortal world. Such prizes, such items of power and importance cannot be kept in the open, and so they were hidden here. That is, until the intruders took them. A child of the dust wishes to help the cycle? Why, there is no precedent. If you truly wish to assist those of us in the deep slumber, you are welcome to. The 3 staffs were stolen from Sill Hollow and destroyed by the thieves who did not comprehend their power or their value. I heard their dying screams. The pieces must be recovered and the staffs must be reforged. If you can do this, you are more worthy of the cradle than I could imagine, but likely you will not. It is for those answers that I seek the wisdom of the slumber. For it is in its reverie where I will learn the whereabouts of these thieves, Raff, Purter, and Hagney. For many seasons, we have protected this sacred space from the darkening influence of the mortal world. For it is here where we Summer Fae first set foot in Amalur. But with the rise of the Tuatha, the magical barriers protecting the Cradle of Summer have weakened. If this continues, nothing is safe from the blight of winter. It is the most powerful form of Fae reverie, a connection between our people and our birthplace of Ashara, the realm from which all magic is born. We in the Cradle of Summer slumber to protect this sacred place. We draw energy from our homeland and use it to maintain the barriers that keep out the beasts and men. I am Kalar, guardian of the Cradle. Terenier and I safeguard what has never needed protecting, until now. With our weakening magic, the Fae must tend to our own. They were wielded during the long twilight of the Withering War. Those 3 weapons uprooted mountains and left the lush plain forsaken. They are the lightning, the fire, and the ice. They are precious, and while their magic has weakened in these fell lands, they are still cherished and must be returned. Move swiftly.
Hail! I am General Talera ap Gwydion, former commander of the Eastern Alfar forces. Surely you're not the aide Aelin Shear promised. She spoke as if she planned to send a whole squad of soldiers, not one faceless mercenary. You have the bearing of one that's seen combat, but you never fought in the war, or you would know who I am. Once I was the commander of Mel Senshir, the Alfar fortress to the east. I held back the Tuatha at every push before the Baelor came. Then everything fell to pieces. Understood. But you wouldn't be the first person that Aelin Shear has used. Most of the time, you don't even know she's doing it. Not that I need any help in my misfortune. You see, all those who involve themselves with me soon face disaster. Such is the fate I have been dealt. The Baelor is a thing of dread, an Iskaru lord that the Tuatha managed to coerce into fighting on their behalf. Against the Tuatha I had some success, but no ordinary weapon can best the Baelor. One must fight darkness with light. We may be lofty, but we are not weak. Our land is cold and harsh, and we have long studied the noble arts of bow and blade. Across 1,000 battlefields, my spear paints a red masterpiece. Mel Senshir is the gateway into Cluracan, but it's been under siege ever since my defeat. I failed the city once. I can't fail them again. With Tuatha raiding parties along the shores, Rathia has the only port for safe passage across the strait. But after assisting Mel Senshir for so many years, the ruling council of Rathia is loath to offer more aid for what they see as a lost cause. 10 years ago, I served the Alfar armies, defending Pluricon and Mel Senshir from the Tuatha armies. Then, Witch Knight Malwyn led his Tuatha summoners against us. The fiends routed my soldiers at every turn. Now they've had Mel Senshir under siege for years, while I've been searching for a weapon to turn the tide. Earl Tusk, the tomb of the Divine Fang, the piercing light. With a weapon like that, I could rally the troops at Mel Senshir and perhaps redeem myself. They say the ruin is guarded by legions of Niskaro, led by a beast known as Azagal. Whether this is true or the stuff of legend, I don't know. Long after the Arathi left our world, the mortals built these windstones to call them back down. I've never seen them work, but, as I said before, I'm not known for my good fortune. The years have been long since I first learned of the means that might deliver Mel Senshir from the Tuatha. It lies in Earl Tusk, beyond a gate fated never to be opened, in a hall awash with Niskaru. Any who seek access to the ruin must face them. These ruins are said to be the resting place of the Piercing Light, a spear carved from the tusk of the Niskaru Duke, Gajor. The legends say it destroys any horror, in the mind or on the battlefield. No place is more deserving of such a power as Mel Senshir. The ruin holds the only weapon known that can slay an Niskaru lord, and the monsters inside will do anything to keep it safe. The Arathi sealed Earl Tusk to be opened only when the great voices rise in song. This may refer to the windstones scattered across the plains, but I can't be sure. Years ago, this chime was found near the ruin. I've tried using it to make the windstones sing, but I've had no luck. As if that's a surprise. The inscription says the gate will open when the great voices rise in song. I think this means the windstones that are there's one just a little to the south. The windstones are located... I can't believe it. The gate shifted? For all my efforts, you simply appear and make it respond. No one could, not even Fate Weavers. They say that fate has woven no thread to open these doors. And yet, you've done it. But we must not stop here, not when good fortune smiles upon us. The gate opens, but you must find the remaining windstones and strike the chimes. I will stay here. The Niskara within will sense the gate weakening. Someone will need to hold them back. I'll stay here and fight any Niskaru looking to sneak past us.
You have absolutely no idea what you've done, do you? Mortals always trying to take something. Thanks to you, the barrier is broken, and the magic weakens. If we do not act swiftly, the Cradle of Summer will be lost. The Cradle of Summer is a blessed place, and we must protect it from those that wish to make such power their own. My barrier served its purpose for many seasons. But magic everywhere has been in decline. Your disturbance of the lore stones destroyed the barrier. You are responsible. All of this world's power flows from the wild of Ishara, and there are places where it touches us directly. Our power comes from the single source, drifting in the air around us, a light on the surface. We protect the cradle with a magical barrier. But now that you've tainted the lore stones, I must sacrifice my own power to replace what was lost. Then come. I will restore the barrier at the font, but you must protect me. The Wild Fae will be here soon. This is the chance they've been waiting for. Farewell. I am so weary. But it is done, and the cradle is safe once more. You have done what is right, and I am pleased to give you this talisman as a symbol of my thanks. Perhaps the first one spoke the truth. That the fonts are running dry. That things are finite after all. For that is how I feel at this moment. Drained of all life. An odd sensation, this dying. Maybe there is something to mortality after all.
Yes?
What do you want? I'm in the midst of a personal crisis and I wish not to be disturbed. Damn freemen. My stolen amulet, and stripped of its pesky curse. Beautiful, isn't it? Now that it won't kill you, that is. Hand it over. I can offer you riches, my friend. Gold. And what is better than that? Anything your heart desires in this world can be purchased. Ah, justice. Yes, I believe you will go far in our world, ragged and raging as it is. As for those two knaves, I suspect they will meet with a gallows soon enough. This village was once a bustling crossroads for traders and dealers in the arcane. However, in recent years, it has become a barren outpost for the ignorant. Disgusting, sweaty, pathetic things. Do not misunderstand me. I have sympathy for the wretched, but only if they're far from my doorstep. One must keep an eye on every possession since the freemen began to terrorize the plain. Some dare to enter the village even with the militia outside. I am W. Mundus, owner of Oddities and Curios by W. Mundus. I have lived in the village for nearly 1 year. I detest it. And don't get me started on the Alpha. Goodbye.
You're in my path, stranger. I ask that you step aside before I cast you off the cliffs. I hold it as dear as any fae, but my time had come. However, I took a piece of the cradle with me, a part of a weapon I was meant to protect. I'd earned that right. Can't you feel it? Ever since the Withering War, this stretch of earth has been enchanted. Some prefer to call it cursed, but I see all of this magic as a blessing. I walk the broken hills and ravines, searching for the answers to this question. What lies across the sea? Who is calling me with her fiery breath and knowing whisper? I was once part of the deep slumber, but wished to depart the dreaming to pursue something that is more familiar to mortals like you. Ambition. For seasons, I dwelled in the cradle of summer, as is my role in the telling. But something called to me from beyond the sea. A whisper of power and corruption. I fought our winter court enemies right here on this soil. But it was all in vain. The seasons pass as they always have, and always will. There is no ending the winter. That's laughable. I don't know you, I don't trust you, and I don't like the looks of you. I'm plagued by visions of what your kind call the future. A telling beyond the present. It is all because of this new god. She clouds my thoughts, confuses me. You appeal to me using your mortal sense of guilt, something I truly do not understand. However, my role in the telling does not include Riven or Tarsus. Take my staff. The peace you seek is within. May it bring clarity to the deep slumber. Go on.
Gods, some with good intentions, and you can't fault them that, but the majority of them are just a hoax. Needless to say, I don't like it here. You could have stayed free and lived a comfortable life, but you couldn't settle the disquiet that haunts people like you.
Hello there. Care to join me in my work? You look like you could use a few moments of quiet reflection. Of course, the cradle, an incredible setting, so rich in its magical history. I was there months ago searching for artifacts, but only came across a few random wand components and a reagent or two. Nothing fantastic, but definitely worth the trip. I am a student of the world, my friend. The world. One cannot learn what he wishes to know from books and recipes. No, he must search the countryside for answers. Look around you. This ruin holds knowledge so deep that no one man will glean it. But that will not keep Arion Raff from trying. Ha! An incredible region. One that begs to be studied. Where else can one truly get a sense of the withering war and its dramatic effects on our world? It is endlessly fascinating. We have nothing like it in all our long histories. The Fae are singular in their abhorrence of warfare. It's what makes them unique. This warped old rod? I can't imagine why you'd have any interest in it. It's a patchwork piece, cobbled together from bits and bobs. However, I did invest many hours of my life in its construction. My hands still bear the calluses. I would part with it for a price. I couldn't have parted with it for any less, you understand. A man's handiwork is still worth something. Enjoy the piece, and good day. Be well.
It's nice to see a familiar face. Until we meet again.
Hello again. How are you? You enjoying your video? Well.
Looking for potions? Very well.
Hello. Heading. There's treasure to be found. And amongst those always.
The deep slumber predicted your coming, as it did many things about you. You were meant to find the staves, to reforge them, and ultimately to keep them. Those of my kind do not flinch from the winter, but the nights grow exceptionally cold and the air holds the stench of decay. Mortals, it seems, will outlast us all. Take the staves, wield them. They have called you as they once called down the lightning and lit the earth with fire. Do not lose heart on your perilous journey. Farewell.
Paying business, as long as it's important, mind. You'll want to see Brian Shane, the Castellan. The contract board is my responsibility. That and keeping things clean and proper. Aye, it's open to all. When you've got one done, come to me for your gold. Simple as that. You've all the scrolls, then? Good. Nasty thieves, them kobolds. Here's your gold, then. The Castellan will say he's just a simple soldier, but don't you believe that humble smile. The deeds he's done rival the House of Ballads. Aye, that's us. Warsworn will find a bed to sleep in and services in kind. Boris, our blacksmith,
And Braid is quartermaster. And of course, there's old Brian Shane, the Castellan. And I'm Henrik. I look after things, keep the contract board. If you've got something broken, Bori will fix it up for you. Now you go light on Braid. She's got her hands full as it is, believe me. Well, you're one of us, so hold your head high. I try to, just like Brian says. Makes my neck sore after a spell. Goodbye.
Armor shined.
Welcome. So, what's all this? An artifact stolen from the vault, and it turned up in Lorca. I see. You'll want to start with the vault itself. I'll dispatch Oathblade Gwyn Anway to guard it. Meet her there when you're ready. The vault lies south through Tullaraine, on the way to the walls. Head south through Tullaraine. The odd thing is, not a soul's been inside that place for centuries. Can't imagine how someone could have gotten anything out. Never heard the ballads they sing of Grian Brighthelm? Ah, well, those were my days of youthful discretion. You'll never see a dirty blade or an unpolished shield in Helmgard, no? Swords must be sharp, armor shining. You must be war-sworn to all the world, as old Balagar said. Good luck.
Salutation. Another soul who traverses these forsaken crags. I presume that, unlike me, you are here by choice. Ah, allow me to introduce myself. I am Naim Kent, of the Rathir Kents, an Oathblade of the honored and venerable Warsworn Order. I have been tasked with eradicating the beasts that lurk within Tullaraine, all of them, by myself, a feat that may only take a few decades. I shall be honest with you, I am not one for field work, and my wealth is substantial. If you feel up to the task, I will pay you to kill these beasts for me. Excellent. Finish things quickly, and we shall be up to our elbows in tankards before Winterfeast. Among these ruins are several kobolds making a nuisance of themselves, and it is best to remove them. Rotclaw is a warrior. Blackshriek is among the deadly Nightblade, and King Fang, he is the closest thing the kobolds have to a leader. For the fortune I shall pay you, if not for the glory you shall earn. Fear not, you shall find my family was once very important in Tullaraine. One of my ancestors even served as a commander of the Aster army. However, that was long ago. Now very few of us remain. Myself, for one, and my sister Nymeria, who is usually not far. She prefers to keep an eye on me. Naim Kent, scion of the Rathir Kents, master of fortunes vast and ill-spent. I am not one to tout my lineage, so please suppress your curiosity and ask no more of it. The command of Helmgard has tasked me with eradicating the monsters from Tullaraine. Rather beneath my station, if you were to ask me, though Helmgard feels this work is, shall we say, compensation for past deeds. I am of the Warsworn, bound to my service by oath. I serve the command at Helmgard. It is Helmgard who, shall we say, reassigned me to Tullaraine to rid the lands of the creatures that infest them. I do not care too much for this place myself, but then again, I did not come here by choice. Well,
The mortals marched unto our golden plains. Fair folk some, and dusky others. They found the rocks and rising of this land pleasing. They asked for it, but it was not ours to give. Cleaving stone and burning root, they made a kingdom for themselves and named it Talarain.
Pyroclastic resonance, body temperatures still well above ambient, and freshly broken earth. Ah, forgive my manners. You were sent to meet a contact, and here I am, Jubal Calidus, Arch-Sage of the Scholia Arcana. If you would be so kind as to ready your weapons, I believe we are about to be attacked. You will be in my thoughts. That was bracing, wasn't it? Ethan did not exaggerate your prowess, but it was a pity what happened to this caravan. I followed their trail from Melaglir in the hope that they carried a letter from the missing Adept Fell, and indeed I was correct. I believe this should go to you. The message names a likely suspect. Continue onward then, to Melaglir. Speak to this Patrick Morkan, and find what befell our missing colleague. I am not accustomed to being questioned by anyone, even newcomers as promising as you. See to your task, neophyte, and remember, whatever attacked Adept Fell is not to be underestimated. Ethan and I came up through our initiation trials together. He is my most trusted savant. There is a reason he was chosen as your mentor, neophyte. Heed his wisdom. Fascinated with rank, are you? Perhaps one day you would like to stand in my shoes. Trust me, it is not as pleasant as it seems. For centuries, the High Lords of Kandrian used spell and sword to keep a fragile peace. But times have changed. It has become a land ruled by fear. Use caution when walking its roads. Nestled in the protective shadow of Kandrian Keep, it appears Melaglir is now home to a predator. Try speaking to the local villagers to determine what has happened to Adept Fell. Should you tarry in finding what troubles the village, there might not be anyone left to question. You will be in my thoughts.
The mortals fought over the castles and hills. The servants of the Asta clan divided the remains between them. They called themselves Ratifer, Kents, and Scathes. They hid their rocks and metal under their castles and called them home. They hoarded treasures and watched the seasons wear their stone walls and their wills.
Hello. My name is Lannis Davril. I'm a mage of the Scholia Arcana. I don't suppose you have any spare time on your hands. I could use your help with my current research. I have been working on a new type of magic to track the slaying of beasts. I have vials of clear liquid, which, in theory, will change color once a specific number of monsters have been slain. I believe I have perfected the formula, though I could use a hand in testing it out. Then hunt down the desecrator of these ruins. Kobolds, Krudix, Etten, and those miserable Jotun. I will pay you when these 4 vials have changed color. 1 vial should change after you've slain 10 kobolds. 1 after 5 Krudix, 1 after 3 Etten, and the last after 3 of the Jotun. Good hunting. I am a mage of the Scholia Arcana. I have come to Talarain to test some new magic that I have devised. There are plenty lurking around Talarain, but please don't feel limited to these lands. There are monsters everywhere that must be vanquished. Feel free to go where you wish, as long as you return to me with the vials. The nearest chapter house is in the city of Rathir. I am only tenuously associated with them. I prefer to spend most of my time here, where there's no one to bother me. This place is full of monsters, which makes it the perfect place for me to test new magic. Well, perhaps.
A customer?
Good day. Thank you so much for your help with these. I'll have them reworked and redistributed. In return for your help, please have these. They're sure to be of use. Nice talking to you. Askel's letting me help with the business again. Nice talking to you.
Looking for potions? Very well.
East of the Wolds, your fortunes can be had there for a lucky adventure. I heard rumors that Castor had been sent to his maker. I'm just sorry I'm past the age where I could have sent him myself. The bastard's better off dead for what he's been putting us through. Thanks kindly for your work, stranger. Oh, really? Someone finally answers to my posting? Well, do you have anything to turn in? I'll pay for each armband you bring. Keep the peace.
riddance to the kobolds. Now on to more fierce fare. Many a beast still needs to be slain, and there is one such beast, a Cruddock, that awaits you outside of Corgan Hold. I have... Smiler lurks near the entrance to Corgan... Well, perhaps we shall speak later. Ah, Smiler has fallen. I would raise a glass to the creature's demise, but raising one too many glasses is one reason I was reassigned here to Talarain. Well, you have done your share by ridding the world of him, but there are still beasts that need to be slain. And this particular beast, Colmere, will not be as easy to kill as the others. Colmere is an Etin, a war priest who has made camp in Talarain. The Etin are not very intelligent creatures, but they compensate this with their strength. Well, perhaps we shall speak later.
Stranger, please. I am being hunted by Fair Gorta. The bones of all my forebears mean to kill me. They are the bones of all my fallen family. I am of an ancient line, and the curse it bears is almost as old. When a Skaith dies, the magic of the curse raises his bones and forces them to hunt its descendants. Nothing of its life remains, just a hunger for Skaith blood. They will not stop until the line is dead, and I fear I am the last. But this curse need not end with my death, if you are willing to help me. I must exile myself from my family. In ancient Alfar tradition, members of the family or clan could be banished forever with the proper ceremony. This stronghold was my family's seat. It contains the solemn bell, the Codex Skaith, and my birth candle. All components for the ritual of banishment I must complete. We should begin. Meet me in Dove Whale, and we shall get underway. The Astor family was once the powerful leader of this land. The bloodline ended when a war erupted between the two Astor brothers. Without a unifying ruler, Talarain fell to what it is today. A castle abandoned by the Astor family, and later taken over by my ancestors. According to my texts, it became our great and glorious hall. Then my family became cursed, and the hall, like the rest of us, fell into ruin. I do not wish to speak about myself any more than I have to. Not while the curse hangs over my head. The Skaiths were once prolific and powerful. But generations ago, one Skaith desired more. So a Fae offered him great power in exchange for his family's souls. The Fae later told him that it meant not the souls of the Skaith's immediate family, but of every Skaith that was and would be. Thus the curse was born. The name of that one Skaith was lost, so now I call him first. As for my ancestors, the curse animates their bones and gives them hunger for my life. This is the home of my ancestors. It was once a beautiful place. It has fallen to ruin and become overrun with monsters. Stay quiet.
Now the vales and dells of Talarain stand abandoned. The once great citadels that stood in triumph now lie in ruins. Once pure, they have left the land, and with it, the mark of mortal sins.
Did you hear that? That is it. A solemn bell. The ritual says I must speak the magic words to make it ring several times, and announce my intent on leading the Skaith family. Leading them to battle, I mean, to peace. Yes, that is what I meant. Leading them to eternal peace. Let us be quick. It is done. If the bones of my ancestors did not know we were here, they do now. Now to the library, where I can find the Codex Skaith. Let us be quick. Hold here a moment. There is something behind this door. Do you not sense it?
Oh, it is as I feared. The Scrivener is here after all. I cannot go in that room, not while he is there.
In life, he bound the names of my ancestors to the Codex Skaith, and thus was the keeper of the names of our line. He fought the family's curse, tried to safeguard our names. But his battle was lost, and he became the worst of them. The Scrivener is powerful. I do not wish to face it, even if it is only bones and magic. Please, kill him quickly. Let us be quick. Now that the Scrivener is dead, it is safe for me here. However, I was expecting this place to be in better condition. Well, I suppose this is what happens to a library after a few centuries of neglect. Ah! But here is the Codex. Keep them off my back while I find my name. It is done! I have added my name to the Codex Skaith. Yes, I added my name. I will explain later. No time now. Hurry! We must find my birth candle and finish the ritual. Let us be quick. I must find my candle amongst these. It will not be long now. Stay quiet. It is no longer here. My birth candle has been taken from its holder. It has been taken, so I cannot complete the ritual. If I cannot extinguish the candle's flame, then I will only have a short time before the monsters reach me. The first must have taken it. He is the progenitor, not like the others, for he has never truly died. Yes, the hunger consumes his soul, but his body still lives. His tomb should not be far. Please, warrior, I must be free of this all. Help me reclaim that candle. Let us be quick. Him.
You must be a fool to follow Fatir around under false pretenses of some family curse. The castle once was home to the Astor family, but after they were wiped out, the Skaiths moved in. It was a glorious hall, but fell to ruin when my family became cursed. Yes, I am the first Skaith. The one who is responsible for my family's suffering. The power I gained was not worth the years of torture my family has endured. The only way to end this curse is to allow my family to finally know peace. Many years ago, a Fae offered me great power in exchange for my family's souls. Overcome by a craving to have this power, I gave in to my selfish desires. Ever since, my family has not been able to rest in peace. Once the curse is broken, I can give them the peace they seek. There is a curse only on Fatir's ancestors, not Fatir himself, nor is he being hunted by us. This ritual of his is not to free us from the curse. It is to take control of his ancestors and raise them as his personal army. If you do not believe me, you can go ask Fatir yourself. But if you give him to me, I will be able to release my family from this curse. If you must.
It is true. There is no curse on me. Only upon my ancestors. This ritual will raise an army under my command. One of my ancestors was a leader of the Astor forces long ago. It is my family's duty to protect Talarain, but I cannot do so on my own. With an army of my ancestors under my command, I will be able to keep Talarain safe.
Please, all you have to do is turn Fatir over to me.
Do not listen to the first. You must help me finish this ritual. Thank you, friend. If you kill the first, the ritual will be complete, and the army will be in my command. Stay quiet. The first is gone, and now I have control over my ancestors' remains. You are welcome to any of the treasures in the vault. I thank you for all you have done for me. Thank you for your help, friend. I would not have been able to complete the ritual on my own. The first is not dead. He now answers to me, as do the rest of my ancestors. He, for one, deserves this current torture for bringing this curse upon my family. Now that I have control of my ancestors, I will use them to protect Talarain against the monsters that seek to destroy it. Do not fear my ancestors, friend. They are under my command now, and in turn, will be your allies. The curse will be broken the day that I die. My ancestors have been searching for peace for generations. They will hardly notice the remaining years of my life. With them in my control, at least my family can do some good for Talarain before we are gone forever.
You have slain Smiler and Colmere, both formidable enemies to be certain, yet mindless things, easily outwitted. The real challengers are these Jotun. There is a Jotun, a chieftain not far from here. Malgar is his name. Talarain must be rid of him. Be cautious. They may appear brutish, but the Jotun are much more intelligent than the other creatures you may have seen in Talarain. Well, perhaps we should...
A powerful relic stolen from our vaults, and they send a single pledge shield. Have they gone completely mad? Who knows how many like it were in that vault, and how many stolen already? Let's go in. We'll see what we find there. You'll see in a moment. The outer doors are open, but that's no concern. It's the inner door that's always locked. Only Gryan has that key. In this vault lies every cursed, chaotic tool ever taken from our foes, before we became simple mercenaries. Its doors, its walls, its very floors are imbued with magic to keep these dangerous and powerful things in, and everything else out. Mike Castellan dislikes dust and old things that aren't sung in a tavern, so looking after them, worrying about them, falls to me. This place is mine alone to watch. Once we had shields enough to stand guard here day and night. Then the war came, and off to Cluricon they went. Now I come on my own once a fortnight and inspect the grounds. You can see where that got us. They were using it to summon Niskaru in those caverns. Terrible. This is what comes of forgetting and ignoring. You're far from it now, but it hangs over everything like a putrid fog. Sverri Cora in Melsenshire is Amalur and commands the Warsworn at the front. Come, this way. The inner door. That shouldn't be open. Mages! Are these the same ones from Brigand Hall? You there! Stop at once! I found this in the leader's hand. It's the key to the vault. Or maybe a copy of it. Can't tell for sure. No knowing how many times they've been in here when they knew I wasn't about. We were lucky to come when we did. Return to Helmgard.
Brian Shane won't like this, but he'll have to hear of it all the same. It was clasped in the leader's hand. I'll show it to Brian Shane when I report to him. I must report to Brian immediately. I must report back. See you at Helmgard.
Excellent. With Malgar out of the way, all that is left to remove from Talarain are the dregs. That should only take a few years. Well, so be it. Take the money you have earned.
I'm glad you're here. I've taken the precaution of jailing Gwyn. A bit heavy-handed, I know. But this is a serious matter, and only necessary until we've cleared this up. That vault was hers to watch over. This can't help but put her under suspicion. We have a small jail at the back of the keep. Useful enough, between the freemen and other sorts you find on the plains. Of course she was. I ordered her there. That proves nothing. Someone help those mages get in. But who? And how? Things in that vault are fine for songs and tales of Eamon. They make the Warsworn seem more legendary and grand. It's all dusty nonsense to me. She never mentioned a key. Withholding evidence as well. The girl broods so. Suppose I'm not surprised. I do want to know what became of that key. The vault was Gwyn's responsibility. There's no getting around that. Until it's clear precisely what happened, she'll remain where she is. Yes, these mages, the Farlangi, was that it? They stole the relic, of course. But they must have had help from inside to get in. Your search must continue. Something else, Splitshield.
Don't tell me you believe I had a hand in this. After all you've seen, this is a nightmare. I do, but I blame the Warsworn leadership so much more. After my parents, after all my warnings. What is the saying? They who ignore the past are fated to repeat it. But Gryan would rather sweep this under the rug. That is why I'm here. My parents were loyal Warsworn, but the Order turned its back on them. They would not help, let alone... Forgive me. I am not used to talking of such things. You will surely face more of those mages. In my strongbox by my bed, you will find a ring of mothers. I want you to have it. I wish I knew. Today's Warsworn aren't heroes or demon slayers, just mercenaries. Soldiers. Gryan Shane is a shining specimen of the modern Warsworn. That our old enemy still lurks somewhere in the shadows? Yes, often and always upon deaf ears. The key! Gods damn it, he was in such a rush to throw me in here, I forgot. Take it, show it to Gryan. If it is a copy, I know a master locksmith in Tyrion's Rest who might be able to help. Every cursed object from the times of the First Sworn we keep in that vault under lock, key, and other protections. It was only a matter of time before some villain found a way in. Does he think this will all go away after he locks me up? That those mages and their Niskaro will vanish just because he shuts his eyes? Huh. I'll be alright. Just go solve this, and get me out of here. Despite their loyalty to the Order, the Warsworn could never admit that our own history was intertwined with their deaths. And now this, as if they were spitting on my parents' graves. It is described in our histories, a thing of great power won by Aegon from an evil mage. We know little else. Before you found it, we didn't even know it could be used to call forth Niskaro. We didn't know it, but someone did. As much magic and artistry has gone into that key as into the lock, casting a working copy would be no simple task.
Welcome to hell.
What's this now? A key found among the vault intruders. I see. Well, I can say for certain that it's not the original. That was the first thing I checked after you went off to the vault. Ah, yes, the gnome. Tarion. He'd know something of how this was done. Did Gwyn suggest this? She always did have a head for these things. Although, if she's behind this, the gnome could be a trap. Be wary, Pledge Shield. As I told you, the first thing I did was verify the key was safe and sound in its proper place, which means what you found is an impossibly perfect copy.